Hi, everybody. This is Kim, your weight loss and accountability coach. Today, I am super excited. I have a very special guest here with me, one of my most favorite clients, Kat, and she's agreed to have a little conversation with me just so you could get to know her and her experience, basically changing your life, I guess, since we've known each other. We've known each other for a while, so I would love to hear a little bit about you and what's going on with you.
We've been on this journey together for 2 years now. Um, and I think what's going on with me right now is I've gone through this sort of transformation of my life that was something that I've been wanting to do for so long, but didn't really have sort of the skills or the knowledge. And I knew that I needed the support in order to achieve these kinds of goals. And so, um, I know without a shadow of a doubt, I wouldn't be here today, still on this transformational sort of weight loss journey. But I never would have been here, I know without a shadow of a doubt, without you and your support. Um, it's just not something that I could have achieved on my own. So I'm just grateful to be in this place of achieving my goals. We're still working together on achieving those goals, but I'm grateful to have had you on this journey because I just know I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for you and the support that you've provided me and the skills that you've taught me. So
Oh, thanks, Kat. That means so much to me. I appreciate it and I love you. And I think what I would like for you to share a little bit is um, tell me a little bit about before we met and if you've done other things in the past and how that went for you.
yeah, like, my weight has became an issue pretty well right after I got out of high school and went off to college. And I was very active when I was growing up in school. In high school, I played a lot of sports and I could eat whatever I wanted whenever I wanted, and it was never really an issue. And then I moved out on my own, and you don't take as good care of yourself, I find, when you're in college. And weight sort of slowly started creeping on over the years, and I tried to start doing things to try to lose weight, more so on the exercise side, like hardcore, trying to go to the gym and do things, but I never really knew much about diet, portion control, and the older you get, the more difficult it becomes. And I had a few attempts where I was able to lose a little bit of weight, but inevitably it would always creep back on and then some. And so I just got to the point after about 20 years of this gradual weight increase over the years of where I just felt like I was ready to take matters into my hands and actually do something about it instead of just trying to guess and try to do it and not having success and beating myself up over it. It was time to get somebody who was a professional in this area to help me and support me and teach me and show me. And also the big thing was to hold me accountable. So yeah, fast forward to 2 years ago and we started the journey, and right away I knew it was something that was going to work for me because there was the accountability, there was the expertise and the teaching and the really having my eyes opened up to what portion control looked like and what foods I should and shouldn't be eating, and all the misconceptions I had about diet were really cleared for me. And just having somebody there day after day to help me and encourage me and provide positive support, because it's easy to beat ourselves up. Why can't I do this on my own? Well, it's hard. It's not that easy. If we could all do it on our own, I think we would have done it. So it was just really opening up and letting myself be open to the process and taking the advice and having the accountability, and all of that together was what I really needed to have success. So.
And you've done so amazing. I mean, you've lost over 63 pounds and 64 inches. So I mean, I'm wondering how you feel now compared to a couple of years ago. I mean, just when you and I have our coaching calls and we talk once a week and you email me your diaries, and not everybody does that, especially in maintenance, but I think that's one of the things that you really like. But tell me what it felt like before you met me, and tell me how it was this summer going to the beach and going on vacation and doing all these things with your family.
Um, it was, it had been years and years of feeling really down on myself, and a lot of sort of negative thought and negative thought toward myself and about how I felt in my own skin. I never felt comfortable. I felt ashamed, to in the summertime to try to find clothes that weren't too tight on me. I felt uncomfortable all the time. There's no better way to describe it, but just being uncomfortable in my own skin and feeling ashamed to step out and go out and just missing out on all of these life experiences that I should have been enjoying. And instead, I was just feeling very self-conscious about myself. So it just got to the point of where I just said, I'm tired of repeating this cycle year after year of trying to go away on family trips and doing these things that I should normally be enjoying. And instead I'm being consumed by not feeling good about myself. And it's a vicious cycle. The more you negative think about yourself, the more you fall into those bad habits, and the more difficult it is to, pick yourself up and go into a positive direction. So I just knew that there was no more continuing on the way that things were going. I had to make a change, and I knew I needed somebody to help and support me with it. And so I still vividly remember the day when I found your information, picked up the phone and called you, and we talked, and we met at, a time to meet. And I just decided to commit myself at that point in time. What did I have to lose? And I just really gave into the process, and it was the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. Fast forward to this summer, being able to throw on a swimsuit and walking around at our vacation property in a swimsuit and feeling comfortable and not feeling just not having to even think about what I look or feel like. I just get to go and do and not have those, negative worries, and being proud about how I actually look now, and just not having those negative thoughts anymore. It's just been such a life-changing experience for me. So, I wouldn't have changed anything for the world. It's truly been a life-changing transformation, and it's something that I'll never go back to that old way of being and feeling, because it's just not a place in my life that I ever want to go back to ever again.
For sure. Well, I mean, you look so amazing and so incredible. You've got a couple kids. You're back to work now full time again.
Yeah.
With the whole COVID thing. So that must have been pretty tough. I mean, especially with all the stress and the self-isolation. So a lot of things that you and I have talked about, and one of the things that you like to do is you like to pre-plan, you like to keep track. That's just sort of your style, but not everybody's like that. So yeah. I mean, this isn't a diet. Do you feel hungry? Do you feel deprived? How do you feel eating this way and changing your lifestyle?
Yeah, like pre-planning and like the planning out and the recording and then the pre-planning, I don't think it's something that is you're ever going to necessarily enjoy. But it's necessary, and it's just become second nature now to me. So I don't really think about it anymore. Given the choice, if I didn't have to, I wouldn't, but I know I have to. It's just part of what being able to manage my weight and manage a healthy weight. It's you have to do that to know that, there's certain amounts of foods, certain food groups, and over the course of the day, if you don't keep track of that and pre-plan for it and do your grocery shopping and meal plan, then you're kind of just winging it, and you might or might not make the right decisions. And so, there's certain times when that's okay to do that. If you're away for a few days or on vacation, to sort of still know in the back of your head what you're doing. But the pre-planning is to me is the most critical part, because if you don't have the right foods on hand, you're not going to eat properly. And if you're not pre-planning and allotting throughout the course of the day, then you're kind of just guessing and winging it. And that's where trouble can happen. And I know that I've gone through that with COVID and trying to just, wing it and being home throughout the days and having access to the pantry and, sort of poor decisions were made that way. And so I've kind of learned that I need to get back on the saddle and get back into the pre-planning and the planning throughout the course of the day and doing it ahead of time, and then, getting those foods prepared and planned out. It just means that you're going to make those right decisions. And in those moments of weakness, when you want to say have a snack, you've got the right things to grab instead of winging it and grabbing the wrong things. So, and because of that, no, I don't find that I feel hungry or deprived, because I'm getting the correct amount of foods in me over the course of the day. And I don't even have to think about it, because it's just there and ready for me to grab and go. So I think that my body too has just gotten used to the amounts and the quantities of the foods that I need now. So maybe at the beginning I probably felt a little deprived, but that was necessary, transitioning from grossly overeating to now eating properly for my height and my weight and my desired weight and things like that. So no, it's not like a diet. It's a lifestyle, really. And it's just learning how to do it properly so that you can lose and then subsequently maintain and not put the weight back on.
And that's the ultimate goal for sure. I mean, so many of us have tried dieting, including myself, for years and years and years. And so it is a good feeling. It's a daily thing that we think about because it's our new lifestyle. So tell me how you feel now, and if there's anything that you can share with anybody, what sort of tips would you mention as far as what you've learned or what you've realized or what you've gone through? Like what could you give as a little bit of maybe an advice or something that you feel that's changed you?
Well, kind of two things. And talking about diet, like, to me, this isn't a diet. So if you're looking for just a quick fix, maybe finding a diet might be the right thing for you, but this was not a diet. Again, it's that whole idea about lifestyle change, because we're not eating specific diet foods. We're not, doing something drastic. We're using all the regular foods that you would just buy normally in the grocery store, but learning how to plan and eat accordingly. And there's no sort of magic trick and cut out carbs and you're going to lose 30 pounds in a month. And it has to be something sustainable and realistic. Like, I have to be able to go to the grocery store, buy the foods, feed my family and feed myself. So this was not a diet in that way. This was like a realistic lifestyle change. And it's really kind of changing the way that you think and the way that you prepare and that you plan. It's just a very realistic approach to being able to lose weight and maintain and keep it off. So diet, this is not. And the other thing was I actually lost my train of thought about the other thing, what I was going to say. The other thing I was going to say was my tips or my advice to anybody, I guess more so who's starting off and looking to lose weight. My advice, and this was specific to me, but I think a lot of people are in that same boat, is sometimes we get to a place of where we need help. And we can't do it on our own. We don't have the skills, we don't have the knowledge, we don't have the expertise. If we did, we would have done it years ago. So when I talk to people, when they ask, like, what did you do? I said, I got help. I got somebody, an accountability and nutrition coach to help me. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, I could have never done it on my own. So don't be afraid to ask for and seek help, and be open to the process. Again, I've seen it with other people where they try to start and they think that, it's okay for me to still have my glass of wine every night, or I need that to unwind, or I still need to have certain foods, in order to feel happy and fulfilled, and not fully opening up to the process. And I think that's the worst thing that you can do. You have to be open to take the help and advice, because clearly we didn't know better, and that's why we put on the weight and tried to take it off but couldn't do it ourselves. So I think that there's no shame in getting help. We get help with our dental, we get help with our medical, we get help from the experts with our banking, whatever it is. And nutrition and diet and all that, the same thing. So sometimes we need somebody to help and support us. And I think that had I not taken that step, I never would have been here today. So.
And that's, that's one of the things that, we've worked together with for so long, is that it's not just about the food. A lot of things that you've changed mentally, your mindset, your habits, your behaviors, not beating yourself up if you fall off track, because everybody does. And I think that's one thing that you've really learned. And so many of us do it. We beat ourselves up, and then it just turns into that vicious cycle. You give in, you give up. I'll start on Monday, and it just keeps going.
Yeah. It's got to be, it's even just after this weekend, the September long weekend, and being away and being down at the beach every day and at the pool and having a few drinks and maybe snacking on foods that you normally wouldn't. And it's just, you just get right back on it. And even still, if you're going to make those choices, then you sort of learn how to adjust in other ways to take into account, okay, if I'm going to let myself have this, then I'm going to, that comes back to all the pre-planning of then I'm going to adjust here to take into account for there. And it just starts to become more second nature, but it's always the next day it's not even getting back to something. It's just doing what you have what's become your new reality. And that's, you just carry on with the way that things are. You don't make excuses and say, well, I'll start next Monday, or I'll start next week, or I'll start next month. It's always, you're always on, and you've always got to make those right choices.
Yeah, that's true. And, I'm so, so happy that you took the time out today to talk to me, because you are one of my favorite clients, and we've really built such a great relationship. And I really, do consider you a friend, and I'm so proud of you. And I just want you to know that you look incredible. And just one last thing, is there anything that you want to share with everybody before we go here today?
I mean, if you ever are, doubting yourself, or doubting whether or not you can do this, I would say that if I could do it, truly anybody could. And I know it sounds very cliche, but I've been there, right? Like, an individual at 5 foot, a little under 5'2", and pushing 200 pounds, it felt very much in the beginning like I wouldn't be able to do this. But I was just open and took the advice, and I knew that I needed to make changes. And so if I could do it and make the changes and transform, I know without a shadow of a doubt that everybody could. So if you're kind of on the fence post as to whether or not you should start, or if you're, in that place of where you've started losing, but then, come into, some challenges, is just that you have to just push through and believe in yourself, and take that help, and just know that anybody can do it. We just need sometimes that extra support, and just be open to the help and advice that you can provide people, because I know everybody out there can do it. You just have to be open to it. And the positivity, talking positive to yourself and believing in yourself is such a big part of it.
That's right. And so many of us women don't do that. We start out with the intention of doing something for ourselves, and then we just start falling down the list. So Kat, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time, and if anybody's interested in speaking with me, I invite you to a weight loss breakthrough session. We can see if this is a good fit for you or not. The program isn't for everybody, so it's really just to find out a little bit about, how you can change your life, and just to see if we are a good fit together. So have an amazing day, Kat, and you've got the day off.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, have a great day, and thanks again.
Thank you, Kim.
Okay, take care.
Bye.